How's it going, Gwent fans? King Blacktooth here again. Now, usability is what I'm going over in this video. Now, I still play The Witcher 3 Gwent, and there are some pitfalls that I still fall into regarding usability. So I'm going over the issues that I have with The Witcher 3 Gwent usability, and how you could fix that. And new Gwent, there are some concerns that I have, and I'm going to be proposing ideas and examples on how I hope they manage to do it. Now, we've seen some usability, and some of it doesn't comply with what I want. That's not a problem, but I'm hoping they might change their mind. It does require a bit of a change to the game, so they probably won't do it. But let me just go on to that as I do. So the first thing that I want with usability, if you don't know, is how easy it is to navigate a program, how natural it feels. You know, is it easy? Is it intuitive? Do you go to the place and expect something to be there and it is there? How easy it is to tell what you want to do through the computer into the game. So can you do what you want to do easily? Does it make sense? So the first thing that I want New Gwent to be able to do completely is I want to be able to play it with just a mouse. I'm going to be playing it on PC. It does come out on consoles, so with that comes a whole different range of usability issues. It seems quite good though, because they've got all the pad. They were playing it on console E3, and it seemed fine. But on PC, I want to be able to play it with just a mouse with my right hand. That's it. I don't want to have to touch the keyboard. I want to be able to play with one hand. Now, before everyone goes crazy, it's not because Siri looks so cool and so sexy. It's because I want to be able to pick up a cup of tea, relax, have a drink while I'm playing this. I want to be able to scratch my head. I sit like this quite a lot, and it's just a lot more relaxing in order to play. If you don't have to keep reaching over for the left and right keyboard button, don't have to keep reaching over to escape or enter. I can just sit here like this and think about what I want to do. And it just feels so much more right to me in order to be able to play it with one hand. Now, you could do that in Witcher 3, but I don't think it was massively intuitive. There's a couple of usability issues with Witcher 3, but they both revolve around your opening hand at the start. So when you get presented with your 10 cards in your opening hand to redraw, they're presented in a big long list that you have to scroll through. And the first issue is that double clicks are very finicky. There's a lot of potential for accidental double clicks, and I still fall into it quite often. I think I do it quite often actually. And the reason for that is you have to double click to redraw a card, or you can use the keyboard, but no. And one of the issues is you have to click through the long list of cards. So there's a card in the middle and there's two cards either side, and you click on one of the cards either side and it'll start moving the list across. If you click too quick, it counts as a double click and you'll redraw one of the cards that you just clicked on by accident. And if you've got a card in the middle and two to the right, and you say, I don't want that card on the right, so you double click it, it doesn't get rid of that card. You click it once, and then in the fraction that it takes you to click it again for a double click, it will move the cards and you accidentally get rid of a card that you didn't want to get rid of. So double clicks are very easily accidentally done in Witcher 3 Gwent. So the way that I would like it to work is like Hearthstone. Now, I don't want to keep bringing up Hearthstone, but it is a good example of good usability in a game. When you get your opening hand in Hearthstone, it's just like 3 or 4 cards. That's probably the biggest difference. But you select which ones. So you click on one and you put a big X on it, and you get to make sure that it's the one that you want to transfer before you hit that redraw button. Now, in Hearthstone, you can only redraw once, but you can redraw multiple cards. But in Witcher 3, it would take a total of about 6 clicks in order to redraw all your cards singly, because you can do them singly. You could redraw one card and then see what it is, redraw another card, see what it is, redraw a third card, and see what it is. But being able to click it and then click a button to redraw, I think it's just a lot safer than having to double click, because you can mess this up quite a lot. Now, the second usability issue might cancel out this first one if they chose to redesign the game's opening hand, like I hope they do, but they probably won't. So at the minute, they've got the opening hand very much like The Witcher 3, where it's a big long list and you can't see all the cards, and it's got a big description at the bottom, really big pictures, and it's just a bit unnecessary in my opinion. And one of the issues with having the big long list that you have to scroll through, you can use the mouse scroller to do that, but one of the issues is you'll see the first maybe 4 cards on the screen, and then you have to scroll through them, and when you get about halfway, you can't remember what the first cards were anymore. You know, and when you're getting towards the end, you have to keep going back and say, oh, did I have one of those? Yes, I have one of those. That's going to combo well with, oh, I didn't have one, I thought I did. And then you have to, you know, so you can't see all the cards on the screen at once, which is very important. Now, in The Witcher 3, you nearly can. They've got a black bar at the bottom which tells you what the card that you're hovering over does. But just behind that, it shows you all the cards that you have in your opening hand, which is very important. But so either they could just move that up, and so you can see what cards you have in your opening hand in small detail. But I would pretty much prefer to be able to see them in sizable detail. And I think you could fit 10 cards on the screen all at once and a bar that tells you what they do reasonably well, I think. And it's the one that you hover over. So I'm going to put an example up. And one of the issues might be that in The Witcher 3 you had a particular leader card which gave you an 11th card on your opening hand. And if that one makes a return, then you would need another slot in order to put that in. So you probably need about 12 slots just in case. So in the example, as you can see, hopefully I've fit the cards on to a nice degree. You could hover over them, maybe click them, and it come up with a big X to redraw, and then you click the redraw button, and that'll be one of your redraws. Now on console, this is a bit easier because obviously you just press like maybe the square button when you're hovering over a certain card, and it will redraw it. If you're playing on console, then the whole deal is going to be a little bit slower for you, because you can't quickly double click somewhere, you have to scroll over to it, so it makes it slower, which makes it more precise. But on PC, I think just having that usability is nice. So in actual fact, now all the cards are on screen and none of them are moving in any way, they're all stationary. Double clicking to redraw a card actually becomes the preferred method. It reduces the amount of clicks by about half, which is really good, and it just makes the whole thing a lot more slimlined and easier. So actually I prefer all the cards to be on screen and double click to redraw a card, which works really well. So that's about it for the usability. There's not many things, they're just the things that come to mind. They're the things that I definitely want, in my opinion. I'd like to hear your discussion on the topic, because not everyone's the same. You may like the art of scrolling through the cards rather than seeing them all on screen. I mean, that's the biggest change, the one that's least likely to happen. But it would be nice to see somehow all the cards on screen, so you can just make a quick analysis rather than having to go through them all one by one. Because it'll be a lot faster when the game starts growing up a little bit and we start knowing what cards are instantly. But yeah, so let me know what you think, and take care. I think that's going to be it. Thanks guys, take care, see you later.